Chances are, if you are a projector energy type, you have been unbeknownst to you, you have likely been working like your soul's purpose, your soul's mission has probably been a lot around being a clear and present channel. Um, the thing with projectors is that we come in very clear and we have this innate ability for clear seeing. Um, and also, what happens is we walk around and we become sponges and we are almost like chameleons. We've learned to adapt to kind of to make ourselves feel more comfortable, but also to just kind of fit in. There's this really interesting thing that happens with projector energy types in particular is that we see so clearly around us other beings, like other, friends, family, clients. We see systems, we see, the deeper message behind the maybe seemingly superficial aspect of things. And because we have this innate clear seeing, it's very like confusing for us to then move through the world and feel like I don't think anybody really gets me. Like I don't really think that people know where I'm coming from. I don't really know if people can appreciate, and I don't mean that in an ego way, but like I mean in a recognition way of what I have been through. And the thing is that's really unique and it's your superpower and it's special is that you see it in the other. So the aspects of yourself, your soul's mission, you're becoming a clear and present channel, you're being able to sit with the hard things, your ability to be in the liminal space, and also everything that you've done to learn your energy up until this point, really fine tuning your energy, really, you know, spending a lot of effort in coming back to your true self. And so it's kind of like the great paradox of being a projector is that we're like, why can't people see that? Like, why do I have to talk about it? Why do I have to name it? This has been a big piece for me throughout my life is that I think I just wanted to be understood and I didn't want to have to explain myself. And this, I don't know if this is for everybody, but for me, it looked a lot like I'm a really great yoga teacher, but I don't really want to teach just one lineage. I am a medium. Am I an evidential medium? Am I a spiritual medium? I don't really want to label it, and there's some resistance there, and I think that there's something revealing itself in that. I feel like projectors are moving to this place now where we're like, you know what? I recognize myself in such a deep way. I know my connection to source is my number one priority. I know that um my lifestyle and my life revolves around my relationship to source. And I don't really want to feel this pressure to sort of prove it. And so maybe there's a little bit more kind of clarity that's coming through around that right now. But we're really caught in our world right now of like you have to do the thing to be recognized as the thing, and then you still have to kind of prove that you're the thing, and then there's this really sticky place where, X number of people in X number of professions get recognized for their skills and abilities, which they're real, absolutely. But what happened is then all of these other people that maybe don't have that particular, heading or what's the word that I'm looking for? Like they're it's not even their credentials, it's their title, right? It's like, oh, they are this, so this means that they have this number of hours and this paid education and this and that. And I think what we're seeing through now is that that isn't the end of the road. I could go to 50 different dentists and there's one that I'm going to gel with. There's one that I'm going to feel hears me, sees me, and is going to work with me. And I think it's the same for us who we're learning what our abilities are. We're learning how what the transformation is that we offer. And we're moving into this new territory of labeling it and calling it something. And, we're creating these titles, spiritual CEO, spiritual entrepreneur. Um, and that's endless. There's only two examples. But what I see happening is that there's the masses of people that have all of these other abilities and gifts and ways to share their medicine in the world. And we're gonna start moving more towards that. And you can see it happening and you can hear other people talking about it in other ways of that we're moving to more, individualism in a sense, but it's not individualism where I want to be over here alone and I don't want to deal with the world and I don't want this and I don't want that and we're pushing everything away. It's more about like, listen, this is what I know that I need to take care of myself. I know that I'm living at my full potential when I am doing this thing, when I am not doing that thing, whichever way that might go. And that has so much value because a lot of these systems have been created to push the masses in and then just keep churning and churning and churning and churning and churning and churning. And if you've listened to my previous messages elsewhere on this YouTube channel and otherwise on my Instagram, is that been a velocity that is running its course. The pace that has been created for various reasons, and it doesn't need to be good or bad, but we can see that it's not supportive to the masses. There are some people who are thriving and they are going for it, and they might be in those old systems and they're just doing great. And that is amazing. But what I'm trying to get at here is that there's a whole other, um, mass of people that it maybe doesn't really quite work for them. And they're looking for more answers and they're looking for different ways. And, I think earning an income is a really big piece right now because we have been told that you have to do A, B, or C to, be in the wheel, be in the system, get the benefits, pay the taxes, have extended health benefits, safety, security, all of these things. And what people are seeing is that I don't know if that's really offering that much safety and security. Because if you zoom out a little bit and you go, okay, well, what if one of my children is ill? What if my mother is ill? What if I become ill? Am I still going to have an income? And yes, I feel that the masculine and that the men are taking this into consideration as well, but I think women especially are saying, you know what, this like, I don't know, something doesn't really add up here. Like, how are we going to do this differently? How are we going to move forward in the world in a different way where there can be this balance and we can all be kind of tapped into this abundance, because I deserve just as much overflow of energy and resources as you do. And women see that in each other. And I know there's this thing, witch wounds and women wounds and sister wounds, and I don't know, I just don't really plug into that. Not to say that I haven't had issues or whatever, but I just don't really plug into that particular energy because what I see and what I feel is that as more women get their voices bigger in the world, there's going to be more women saying, you know what, we have this problem over here that nobody is looking at and nobody is dealing with. And there's going to be, pioneers, they're going to be saying, like, hey, we need we need to look at this. And there's going to be other women that are going to come forward and say, I support you. What can I do? I can volunteer. I don't have a lot to donate at the moment. I do have a lot to donate at the moment. How can I help? And not at the cost of our own energy, because we're going to create this life for ourselves where we feel sustained, we feel supported, we feel like we have some wiggle room. Like isn't that the dream where you have this solid foundation that you can then look around the world and go like, where else can I be of service? And I know for myself personally, I sometimes want to get there, and I have and I'm humbly. Okay, that's one of those words. It's just not landing right now. I'm the universe kind of keeps just reminding me, really truly in a very gentle and beautiful way, like that I still have some shit to sort out. There's still a little bit that I'm churning through. And it's not to procrastinate, it's not to make excuses. It's just that there's a little bit more still to be moved through. And if you are a projector energy type, recognize and know that when you're moving through whatever that is for you, whatever you're kind of churning through, that you're not just doing it for yourself, that that is just as valuable. Because when you turn around and you're going to go and help whoever it is that needs help. You're going to go and help women that are recovering from burnout. You're going to say, listen, I have been where you are, and I know how I can help you because I can see where you are, leaking energy. I can see what your nervous system needs. I can see what your digestive system needs, your physical needs are, your spiritual needs. Projectors have this clear seeing. And also, it's going to be from our own experience because most of the projectors that I know up till this point, about 5, 6 years in to my human design experiment journey, is that it's really put words to things that I was already doing. I was already a spiritual person. I was already a seeker. I was already focusing on my health, understanding how my energetic, my mental, my spiritual, my physical bodies coexist, how I connect with nature. All of these things to say that it's not, you're not doing them because you're a projector. It's like you're doing them and you're a projector. Like it is kind of going back full circle, right? It's this label. But the thing is, and you don't have to say I'm a projector, look at me. Like it doesn't have to be that at all. Knowing that you being who you are is the thing. So you can say I'm a projector and this is what I do. Or you can say this is what I do. Other projectors might kind of catch, like you might be more on the radar if you say that you're a projector, but it's absolutely not necessary. But what I see is that when we do sort of use that label, and I'm just going to kind of stick with the projector label at the moment, is that it indicates to me that this person has done at least some of the work because they got to this place in their life where they are seeing themselves as a projector. And so chances are that they've maybe had immune health disorders or discomfort in their systems, chemical, hormonal, maybe some mental like connection to like their purpose and their emotional connection to the world. And it's not to say that others don't experience these things as well, but the thing with projectors that I just keep seeing over and over again is that desire to be a clear and present channel. It's like I create that intention, and then when I'm walking along the path and I see a big stone in the way or there's a branch in the way or what is the obstruction that is in my way of me being on my path. And sometimes it's a quick fix, and I go, oh, there's that old thought pattern, there's that old behavior, and I'm like, chuck it out of the way, right? And other times it's like I try to move it, and I was like, it's not going anywhere. So I have to kind of, look at it again and maybe spend a bit of time with it and I really like the rock analogy. I have a lot of vision of rocks and the way that I see it right now as I'm speaking about it is if it is this sort of bigger piece that you're dealing with, the rock starts to kind of shrink and it becomes easier to manage. And then eventually you can relocate it with love and with gratitude, you know. There's so much to say on this topic, and I really appreciate you listening. If you have any comments, if you want to reach out to me, I am so here for that. And we'll see you soon.